Oh, hi guys. We're live today. This is my first time ever doing a creative stream over here on Twitch. I usually do my creative streams over on YouTube. First time ever. Oh, there's an echo. Give me a second. There we go. I fixed it. But yeah, this is the first time I've ever done a creative stream over here. Let me change the title. Okay, we're making a watercolor mixing chart today. Oh, everything's in caps. Is my caps lock on? So we're making a watercolor chart today, is what I'm doing. I wanted to try a creative stream over here. I've never done a creative stream over here, so I wanted to try it. Depending on how it goes, this might be the only one. There might be more. Who knows? I don't know. Anyway, you guys can see my hands working over here. This is my keyboard. I often work on my keyboard. The view is kind of a little weird because the camera can't come over this way more, so the camera's a little slanted. Anyway, this is all my art stuff over here that I'm going to use. I brought over some inks. This is Higgins calligraphy inks and stuff, just in case I want to do anything with that later. I got this Daler Rowney red ink. It's so pretty. And then I've got, you know, some manga stuff over here, like some nibs and stuff. These are my watercolor brushes. I don't have many of them. So if you guys know, watercolor brushes are expensive. This is my soda. Just move that a little bit out of the way so it's not right underneath. Yeah. One of my brushes actually has a fray. Anyway, we're going to be making a watercolor mixing chart with this Artistrove watercolor palette. It's really cheap paint. This set in total cost me about 20 bucks, so this is really cheap paint. But we're doing a color mixing chart because I'm having some trouble. I did a painting earlier and all of my mixes were off because it's been such a long time. So we're just going to go into this. Let me bring out my pencils and do some circles. It's wet. Why is that wet? I don't know. Anyway, I got a palette and I'm just going to do some circles here. I should probably do it in waterproof ink, but we're going to do it in pencil. We're going to do it in pencil. Oh, did the camera move? The camera might have moved. Don't mind. Don't mind, everything's fine. So when I do a color mixing chart, I've done a couple of these on my YouTube channel. When I do a couple of color mixing chart, I think I've actually done one for the Cotman set that I have. I usually just draw a couple circles and do different colors with that, so we'll be doing that. Move those pencils and the stencil off to the side. And these are super fun to do. I do these pretty often, actually. But we're gonna, I don't know what colors we're gonna start out with over here. You can't see my mixing pan. I should probably flip this over so you guys can see my mixing tray. Kind of makes the mixing tray slanted, which is not ideal. Because the water runs in the pans. Okay, that's better. Can everybody see everything now? Yes, no, yes, okay. Let me get the chat up closer to me. There we go. Now you can really see the pans. My jar is over here for watercolor. Just sit that there for a second. You guys are seeing what I normally do, live. I wanted to get some practice in because tomorrow I have a class, an art class, so I'm kind of nervous. So that's why I decided to do this today. Kind of super nervous, actually. Okay, let's get into this. I'm so sorry. Oh! I brought my phone up and it's really loud. Okay. I guess I'll just set you guys right there. Hopefully it doesn't mess anything up on the computer. I should probably add some music, but I was not prepared to do this today. I usually like to do the blues first. So we're going to do the blues first. I I started with the darker one, which is not what you're supposed to do. Not what you're supposed to do. Oh, my water's already starting to tint. Already starting to tint. That's okay. Watercolor doesn't really matter if your water's a little tinted. Which is nice. Okay, so you gotta start with the lightest color in the pan here. Funnily enough, this is the lightest color. The lightest blue. It's pretty deeply into this pan. So we're gonna start with this. My dogs may bark. Don't worry about them. They're adorable. They're just so stinking cute. I decided I wanted to do a watercolor mixing chart today because I honestly cannot mess this up. I've done like a million of these and I didn't want to look silly on Twitch. I feel like Twitch is like a big platform for like really amazing creative people. And I'm just a potato. I'm just a potato sitting over here. I'm just a potato. This color honestly does not look any different. I cannot wait. I got a new yellow ochre for this set. I really love these pans. Like the whole palette is really nice to use. But I honestly really despise these paints. So I'm trying to use up all these paints. Let's get a little more shade on that. I usually like to do the water over here to spread it out from here. Move that back in a little bit. Totally. I messed up the watercolor mixing. Because when you mix, you want to have the nicest color. I messed it up. I said I couldn't mess it up, and that's why I wanted to do it, but I messed it up. I've done a couple of these, though, so it shouldn't be too bad. I used a lot of water, and that one's going to take forever to dry. I should probably get another color going, because watercolors take a while to dry. I could do some over on the other side. Pencil? Where did I leave it? There it is. You guys can tell me where I left things, which is nice. Usually I don't have anybody here to tell me. Should probably do a light and dark circle there. Oh. We can do a smaller one up here. I just love doing little mixing charts like this. Let's get one here. Here. Let's do a 3-color one. Alright, I'm gonna take my headphones off so I can actually hear myself. But yeah, this is what I do. I do this all the time. We're just gonna do a light blue to a dark blue, I think. Or maybe like 2 different colors. I don't know. We'll decide. But I have a lot of extra blue mixed here, so decided I'm gonna use some more of that. I always mix a lot extra usually, because like I said, I'm trying to finish the paint. So you can also do this if you want to contrast the color a little bit. Dip it right in. Like this is dipped directly into the pan. You can really tell the difference between the watered down version and this really deep blue. Even though honestly the pigment is not too drastic with these paints. Are you almost dry? Looks like it. Don't knock over my cola now. Where's the other color? Here it is. And then we've got a purple we could try, which will be kind of fun. It's like a purpley blue, honestly. I was super nervous about this stream, but now that I'm sitting here, it just feels like a stream. It's just a stream. We should probably reactivate some of these colors. I like doing it when it's wet normally, but it dried really fast, which these paints don't normally do. This is a new watercolor book that I'm using. I'm going to add some of the other colors to this. There we go. It's a new color entirely. It's interesting. I love the way that the watercolors spray out like that. That's my favorite thing. I don't know if you can see it too well. But when you put wet down and then put paint on it, it really make sure this stays wet. Let's do a totally different color on that one. See how well other colors mix. I do mix it a little bit in the pan before I mix it on paper. But as you can see, it's mixing on the paper by itself, which is awesome. Let's do a pink. What the heck, right? If we're gonna mix some crazy colors together, let's do something crazy. Now, these super vibrant pinks in this palette are awful. Realistically, they're just awful. So, yeah. Oh, that water got pushed. Oh, cool, purple. That's a cool purple there, right there. I'm going to wring that out a little bit. Get back in there. That definitely turned into a purple, if I've ever seen a purple. With the pink. I don't want to mix the purple and the pink together. I want the pink to be on this side. There we go. Go into the purple. See how it looks chalky and gradiated there? That's one bad thing about these paints. I mean, I just said that I'm not a fan of these paints, but I really do like to paint with watercolors, and they were cheap. I'm actually trying to finish this color here. It's kind of like a yellow ochre almost. But I have a color to replace it, a Winsor Newton color to replace it already. So I'm getting ready. This turns green. 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 Get more of this paint up. Because there's so little pigment in this paint, you gotta move it. Right? Anybody here saying hi? I know it's pretty odd that I'm doing a creative stream. Especially on here. Everybody expects me to do like gaming stuff. Every once in a while I just need a break. See how that turned green? Fabulous. You can actually see it on the camera. Not super well. This webcam is not made for art, but see if I can tilt it up so you guys can see. See how it turned green? Awesome, right? I do have a color wheel here. This is my color wheel. I actually just bought this. You guys don't actually have the haul yet. But I have it taped up there, so that whenever I need it, I can use it. We are going to do games in like half an hour or so. I just want to do some fun stuff right now. So we have a pink here. Let's get a darker pink in here. I want to see how many colors I can mix with this yellow ochre. Now you don't actually have to do these circles that I'm doing. It just looks nicer in the sketchbook. It just looks nicer in the sketchbook, right? Wait a second here. Let me answer this text message. So impolite, right? There we go. So I can actually see the chat. There we go. So you don't actually have to use these circles at all. Like, literally none. But, I mean, It looks prettier that way, doesn't it? That color totally like moved on command there. Oh, that's an orange. Look at that pretty orange. It's going into the pink. It's escaping. That's okay. It's allowed to escape. So it makes it cool. And because they're in circles, you can also write down the, after it dries, write in the circle what it is. Which is nice. Do-do-do. What other color would I like to add to that? Well, let's see. It wasn't orange. Let's add a yellow. We're just going to do this right from the pan, because you can do that. Just have to start over here and then move into the paints. Look, yellow did nothing to the pink, but it turned orange for the yellow ochre. Or almost orange. A little light orange. You can also do, if you guys don't feel like doing circles like I've done, you can also just do this, which I've seen people do. So that's wet, right? This is like the quickest way. Drag it in. You need a lot more control though. And paper that isn't to one side. See, my paper is sitting to one side, and that's why there we go. Yeah, I'm holding it straight now, and it's not doing that. This is the purple that it turned out to be. Oh, I flicked it everywhere. That's the purple that turned out to be. That's a really pretty color. Can you guys see that? The big light kind of bleaches it out a little bit. But yeah, it's a light color anyway. Let's do a couple more. And then I kind of want to go in and do a piece. I did a piece earlier and I was really unhappy with it. So we're just going to go in and see. I want to see what I can mix with this yellow ochre to like get a better color. Because this yellow ochre, or this, it's not even yellow ochre. It's not dark enough to be yellow ochre. But this color is just the worst. Let's mix some blue. Green. We got some green going on. Yeah, definitely some green in there. This is turning to look like a person. Quick. Mix something else with it. I didn't really turn into anything. Orange, maybe? Yeah, like a orange. Now I'm just being really messy. These look so nice, and then I'm like, eh, whatever. We're gonna do a piece. I'm not sure. We should work on. I should probably work on my comic, honestly. What do you guys think? Do you think I should work on my comic on camera? Light blue. Light blue just kind of turns green. You see the drag here? That's the problem with cheap paints. That they do that. Let's get more yellow ochre out of this pan. Like I said, I'm trying to use up all these paints. If I knew how bad they were before I started using them, I would have taken them out of the pan. But because I've used them, they got glued down and are now awful. And I hate them. I hate them. It's really loud outside. My dorm. My door. I was gonna say dorm, but that doesn't make any sense because I'm not in a dorm. This is just another orange. Like a light orange. Doesn't do anything to the color. Just looks the same. Just looks the same. Mix everything together. That turned out cool. Turned out like not a cool color. Black color. Mix that. Now I'm just being really weird. Puke green. We got a puke green, aisle 1. Oh, that's a pretty green. Can you guys see that green that came out of that? I think that was light blue and Let's try it. Oh, I'm messing up the paint. There we go. Yep, that's what that was. It's a pretty nice green, honestly. Just working with the colors for a while. I love working with watercolors. It's honestly one of my favorite things to do. Let's see what color this came out to be. Oh, it's kind of like a purple, almost. These are the two purples that are in this pan. We've got that. And this, which you can barely see because it's kind of like a blue-gray color. There we go. So, those are the colors we have there. Not a fan of either, really. Let me get a tissue for pan purposes. So the pan's pretty small, but I always clean up afterwards. That's why my pan looks so nice, even though my paints are pretty far in. Let's do a piece with watercolors. Now, I haven't worked with watercolors in a while, so you guys are going to have to forgive how awful this is probably going to turn out. Just kind of getting used to the colors for a minute. Got pigment all over my hands, you know. The basic stuff. Let me get another. I've got tissues here for just this occasion. Cleaning out the pans, making everything look nice again. La 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 la. Right? Let's do a watercolor landscape. Oh god, I've said it, now I have to do it, right? Let's wait a second for this to dry. I don't really have any other colored paper, of watercolor paper, so this was a landscape I did earlier that turned out awful. I should probably do a, just a character. I'm better at drawing characters with watercolors. So let me show you guys what I mean. So like let's do, I don't know what I want to do. I'm like in the mood to be creative, but not exactly sure what I want to draw. Maybe like a Naname? Do you guys want Naname? This is going to go up on my Learn to Draw Weekly channel later. So if everybody missed it, they can they can go see it on there on Learn to Draw Weekly. So Naname is one of my characters. How do you describe Naname? She's super pretty. I'm a big fan of her as an OC. But she wears this really nice deep kimono. Deep red kimono. This is just really sketchy, right? She wears this really nice deep kimono. That kind of goes down really far, right? I'm like planning out now, right? Fake face for a minute. Let's do an Naname character. It's been a while since I've drawn her in watercolor, and honestly I'd prefer to draw her in watercolor. Alright, let's do it. Let's do it. I don't have my good pencil here. My Rotring is in my case for school, so I brought it to school with me. I could probably ink it up really quick, but the sketchbook is almost full. I think it's like halfway full. Do I have enough space? And here's some comic pages. You guys are interested in that. Is this dry yet? Keep checking to make sure now. This is definitely wet, so you guys can see. Oh god. Bleach out everything. You cannot see anything. Why is it so bleached? And there we go. You can see this here is still soaking wet. It's a pain not having multiple, I wonder if I could do watercolor on this paper. I don't think I've ever checked. And I wonder what it would turn out to be. Let's try it. Why not, right? We're here. We're here, and, you know, the watercolor pan is empty, so let's try it. Try watercolor. Ooh! You guys see that? we're just gonna go straight to pan, or straight from pan. Ooh, how's it affecting the other side? It didn't go through. It's my little character who's, I turned him into a cat for Christmas. Anyway. Anyway. Just keep trying colors. You do have to wet the paint before you move it, so that's a little... Oh, that does not look like that color normally when it's on white paper. What the heck? Let's do something in here with this. It looks, it looks really nice. Where did that pencil go? Pencil! I don't know where this pencil went. You guys have probably seen it and are like, it's right there. I don't know where that pencil went. Oh well. We can do skin. It's been a while since I've painted without actually drawing first, so I should probably be a little careful. What does it think of that? Not bad. It does look different in the pan. I don't know if you guys can see the pan too well. I don't know if you guys can see the pan too well with how bleached out everything is. It's amazing how on toned paper this is coming out so well. It's not perfect, obviously, but like a perfect color, but I just mixed a shadow by accident. Let's see what color that turns out to be. Just mixed a shadow by accident. I can't get it to... It's alright. It's definitely like a darker shadow color. Can't believe this is working. Like, it's crazy that this is working. I need a blank water. I could use other brushes, but I don't usually. I really like this brush that I have here. This is the Winsor & Newton Common brush. So we have that. Do we want to go for like pink hair? See how that turns out on paper? See, as they're drying, you can see the colors dull. Let's go for like a pink hair here. The one thing about watercolors is you can't really have it behind. You can have it behind the neck, obviously, but not like behind in front. Once you've done part of the body, it's not that hard to go over. Kind of giving her my hairstyle. I did this in the little pan so it wouldn't be too overmixed. Oh god, this is not turning out well. You guys know how much I strive to make everything well, good. Especially on this channel, but not today apparently. Not today. The droop for that hair is not down far enough. There we go. Should probably get more color. There we go. It's pretty holding a pretty thick wash. Oh, the wash moved. It's holding a pretty thick wash. It's going through, but it's not going through like super bad. Now for that, probably add a little bit darker color. You guys can't see the pan anymore. I should probably, let me move it over and see if you guys can see. There we go. You can see the color there. I have to wash out this jar soon. Should probably go for a deeper color for the shadows. Let's see what we get here. Let's see what we get here, huh? That might be a little too dark. Add more of this awful color that I'm going to replace with yellow ochre. I'm actually thinking about putting some gouache in the set too. I don't know, we'll see. So, layer it on top here. That's the shadow. We're really just lining with this shadow. Gonna make sure we don't touch the wet hair. Because that would make everything run together and not be so good. I need a thinner brush for this. There's the pencil I was looking for. There it is. This is my point brush that I use for details. Right. I don't know how this is gonna dry. We'll have to see. I'm gonna blend this out a little bit. Hopefully not get the hair too messed up in the shadow. Because I added too much water. Should have done it with a detail brush and I didn't, and I messed up, and now it looks like she has a giant eyebrow. So that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. Yeah, but the nose looks fine. I can't actually mix with that brush, so I gotta go back to the big one and mix with this one. We're gonna get like a nice sultry red color to make lips. This is coming out great on the toned paper. I'm really surprised. Let's see. Yeah, her face proportions are all off. Oh well. She doesn't look that bad. She can look really disgusted with herself. Should mix a little bit of deeper red. Wonder if I can do it with this. No, I can't really get anything done with this. That's the lip line though. That actually came out fine. Let's mix a darker color to get some shadows. On those sultry lips. I totally messed up the forehead there, though. It's fine. It's fine. It's just some doodles. That being said, I do love doodling with watercolors. Alright, since that is almost dry, we can probably do some hairlines. I'm going right into the pan for the brightest color. You want to make sure your watercolors are always wet when you're trying to pick up color. It's just something I learned. Nope. Keep getting stuck on the one bad thing about these brushes is the long handles, which people will probably actually like. And I do like it too sometimes, but not now. Not today. I do have to end the stream earlier than usual because I have a drawing class tomorrow at what time? 9:30. I have to be there. So I have to leave at 9 o'clock in the morning, which sucks. Very early. So the shadows actually do go back into what I would call obscurity. And the reason for that is when watercolors dry, they get less out there. Crazy. You can even see how the eyebrows have started to go back in. But because she has pink hair, we're going to give her like some cool new age pink eyelashes. Right? You guys all agree with me that that would be awesome? I hope so, because we're doing it. Not so bad. Not so bad. We got a couple people here. Hello. I gotta wait for this to dry for a second. Well, I actually think this... Is this done? No, it's still wet. The watercolor paper is still wet, believe it or not. Yeah, you gotta make sure that you don't paint with wet on wet sometimes because it'll let the color spread out. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So we've got some shadows here that we can probably tone down a little bit on the edges here, blend them out. Let me actually use mine. I've got this one. This is also one of my favorite brushes. You can see. Just dab a little bit of water onto that and pick up some of this paint. Just a little bit. You do want to leave a whole bunch for the shadow. But just want to blend this out a little bit and make it less of a crazy deep shadow. Just, you know, living the dream. Living the dream here. Super concentration mode activate. You guys can play your own music and stuff. I don't really like streams that play music because I want to play my own music. So you guys can play your own music. Feel free to like enjoy yourself and not be bogged down by other people's music. So relaxed. So relaxed. Okay, we're gonna actually get more face color. Oh wow, look at that. Look at that. See all that paint that came off with that? It's because this pan is like not good. Paints are awful. I'm gonna grab some of this color. Ugh. Not so good right now. It's a really dark color. See how dark that is? It's a little too dark for what I was going for. I want to go for like a blushy color, but not that blushy. Clean up this paintbrush as best I can. This paintbrush picks up a lot of paint for being a small little brush like that. Alright. See if that'll do it. Yeah, that's alright. We just want to give like a little smudge underneath here. Don't worry, I'm going to blend that out. It won't look so awful in a second. I'm just going to make sure the brush is cleaned off completely. There we go. Watercolors are great because you can blend like this. You can do it with markers too, but I'm not used to them. As used to them. Since I started out with watercolors. That nose turned out to be pretty cool, actually. Should probably get a little more in there. Just a little more shadow, so it doesn't look like two brushes went in there on accident. This actually is starting to remind me of a Jane Davenport piece. I really, really love Jane Davenport. I'm not using any reference or like trying to mimic her. I was just watching some of her stuff earlier. She released some planner stuff, and I was watching some of the stuff on that, and this is kind of what it reminds me of. Kind of like in her style. Completely unintentional though. Way too much water there. Oops. Don't worry, I can fix this. I think. Maybe I can't fix it. Abort! Abort! I'm just blending more now so it doesn't look so ridiculous. Looks like her chin goes too far up. So I'm fixing it. On this tone paper, there's really no forgiveness at all. We're gonna make her eyes a blushy color. It's been a while since I've done eyes in watercolor. You have to forgive me if it looks ridiculous. Maybe not. Maybe it won't look so ridiculous. Maybe it won't look so ridiculous. It's very anime. Not like Jane Davenport eyes at all. I do have a white gel pen here that'll probably help me finish out this piece and might make it look nicer. I'm gonna make the eyelashes a little bit bigger. Eyeball here needs to be a little bit bigger. If I make this lighter, this paint lighter, I should be able to... Wow, this yellow color is really deep in there. Should be. There we go. It doesn't look... Looks much lighter. Definitely better. We're gonna do a whole new coat with this on the face so it has more contrast. Okay. Yeah, that definitely helped the face out a whole bunch. That was the goal with that, and it worked out. It's really awkward to work on toned paper with skin tones and such. It's probably a little too much right there. Just trying to use the paint I mix sparingly. I don't know if you guys can actually hear my brush on the paper, but because it's toned paper and like kind of like newspaper-ish, it feels weird. Looks like the nose is darker now, or needs to be darker now. I honestly want to rip this paint out. Wonder if I can do it without hurting my brush. Ooh. I can. Got a little bit of paint on my finger, but I got it out the pan. I got it out the pan, which is good. Out the pan. What time is it? It's almost... 10:30. We've got a little bit of time left. I gotta clean out that brush is a mess. Let's clean out the pan the best we can, because I'm gonna be putting the paint in there. And I'll put it into a wet pan either. So we'll clean out the color and then get a tissue out and clean that off. You gotta make sure if you use tissues in your pans not to get it to strip too much, because unlike paper towels, tissues like really leaves excess, so try not to do that. I've done that a couple times. Just some words of wisdom. Oh, my stream blinked out for a second. You guys still there? So if you guys can see here, see that there? That's a giant piece of paint. We're gonna let its tube dry and we're just gonna see how much flat how flat we can get this on the pan. Maybe do some other skin tones and stuff with it. Because I have this to replace it. Looks about the same, right? This is yellow ochre. Right? So I do have that to replace this with, and this is a really cheap paint, so probably do a whole bunch of like faces and stuff. It's just gonna roll around on the paper. It's a really interesting color. I wonder if I can do something monochromatic with it. I don't know, we'll see. Just drawing a head shape down here. See if we can do anything with this. Okay, back up to the piece that's actually interesting. We're gonna redo this red here. See if we can get a nice dark color to do. I'm gonna do some lines. See, it goes slightly up and then in, but I went way too crazy. Just go over it again. Lips, man, how do they work? Let me go into this is my nibs jar and stuff. And we'll do some lining maybe. Hello? There we go. This is where I keep all my nibs and stuff. Got an X-Acto knife in here, but I'm actually going to use the Jane Davenport pattern pen that I have. So just do some little eyes, right? It might actually crinkle the paper a little too much. Probably gonna have to line more than this, but for now, just gonna set her up to look mysterious. Not awful. Pretty interesting in my opinion. That pen needs to be cleaned. And I think we should go with like I'm still working with this yellow ochre on here. Cheap, cheap, cheap yellow ochre. I'm gonna throw it away happily, in my opinion. Just want to see how much paint I can get out of it. And just stuff that right back in there. Nobody tell anybody that I'm wasting paint, okay? Wasting paint because I hate this type of paints. Actually, not yet, but the pan almost looks dry. I can squeeze some new yellow ochre in there. I don't have any fixidant, or fixidants for teeth. They don't have any fixidant. So, I wonder how much this can color. You guys think we should do like a whole page? And like do stuff over it? It looks really interesting on the tone paper. I didn't like it before. I still don't like the paint, but having like a dark color. There we go. Ooh, much better. That person doesn't look so bad. She looks alright. Now we're going to switch this over to dry. We'll move over to the other sketch pad again. See how that toned paper deals with that. This is finally dry. This is a Stone and Burn sketchbook, soft cover. And honestly, I'm not a fan. I don't know. I'm not really a fan of any of these any of these watercolor sketchbooks that I've gotten so far. Again, let's see how much this particular paint can go. Can I paint it on the paper? Probably not. It's really getting thick. Thick and crummy. You can see from how that pulled out there, like that, how cheap of a paint it is. Like this entire set cost me like 20 bucks. So you can imagine how cheap the paints are. But again, I love this palette. I'm going to squeeze some Winsor & Newton yellow ochre into my pan so it has time to dry. So that's what it looks like inside. I'm just going to squeeze a little in there. This is a Cotman set. I got this at AC Moore. Cotman tube. My hand is shaking like crazy. I'm not going to use the whole tube, obviously. Alright, we got some of that in there. Finally put this back in the storage thing I have for Cotman paint. I don't have a toothpick here. Normally I'd use a toothpick. This might do. Just go over it with it really quick and settle it in flat. Settle it into the pan flat. As flat as you can get it. You know. As flat as I can get it. There we go, it's in there. Let me show you guys just the color difference. This is Winsor & Newton yellow ochre. Look at that. Look at how well that, look, it's not like it's like grainy or nothing. Nothing. It's beautiful. Any little grains you see in there are from the other paint. Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? And it's gorgeous. Just want to make this more flat. Trying to get it as flat in the pan as I can so it doesn't... But I'm actually like using some of the paint, which is annoying. You can see even more there. Because it's not dry, it's super pigmented. Super pigmented. Wow, I miss Cotman paint so much. Okay. So that's it for the creative portion, I think, today. It's already 10:44. But this is the old, not much left, but that's the old yellow ochre that I had in there. I'm throwing that out. I don't like these paints in the least, but yellow ochre was the only one I got to replace because it was the lowest. Some of them are so high that it's going to take forever to replace them all to be Cotmans, but such is the way the cookie crumbles. So how do you guys clean out your watercolor pans? So I go over them with paint from the brushes with water. And I clean out the pan just by like taking a napkin and filling them. Do you guys see the yellow ochre there? The new yellow ochre? Right there. I'm going to clean off the table beside me. It's full of all dirty tissues from painting. Painted a lot today, actually. I didn't get to use any of my Dollaroni ink. But I'm gonna have fun now. play some video games. Video games. I've seen a lot of creative streamers that I know playing video games, which feels very odd to me, because I'm like, but you're a creative streamer. Now I'm doing the exact opposite. I'm like, I'm a video game streamer, but I'm doing some creative stuff. I gotta clean that out a little bit more. Really big thing of tissues here, so the water needs to be changed again. I just changed it before stream too. That's okay. Such is watercoloring. Clean the pan out the best I can. I love this palette a lot. I don't like the paints at all, but it's really easy to work in. You can hold 2 water brushes down here if I want to go out. It's super nice to work in. And it came with 2 water brushes, I'm pretty sure. There we go, all clean. I mean, it looks a little dirty, but some of it's just dried on. Some of it's just dried on gunk. See the, I don't know if you guys can see the Winsor & Newton one in there. Gotta lay it flat so it stays nice, but you can definitely tell the Winsor & Newton. Alright, closed up. Gonna switch to, I think, Splatoon. I think we'll be doing some Splatoon. Oh, you guys can actually see me in the